Hello everyone, it's Open House Thursday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown as always. I have the ladies. Hello.
Yeah, Tapa Makadido is back on the show.
Wait here for.
Yes.
Hi, Dino.
Okay, I'm not doing so fine. I'm not going to lie about it. I was a bit depressed. I think the day before yesterday, I couldn't really put my head around what was happening, but I think it's just because of this COVID-19 stuff. So yesterday I couldn't sleep. I just had to pen down something I want to share with my people. So I don't know who this is for, but just listen. Now I know we all didn't see this coming, but I bet that's how life works with everything and it's changing. When I say life's fickle, yeah, I know firsthand it can knock you out and I chuckle. Because everything we're fighting and killing ourselves for can be snuffed out like a candle. That goes to tell you that nothing lasts forever. Wait a minute. Can you see how the rich and the poor are under the same umbrella of fear? No one's thinking of how much or how better they are of each other this year. While trying to survive this coronavirus that's defied science, we still have those taking advantage and debt to conscience. That's the life that we're living. But I bet you if we apply love and giving, we may heal the world like it was in the beginning. Looking out for those who don't have enough to sustain, being a brother's keeper even as we contain. The coronavirus will go as it came. That's my peace, y'all. Peace be still. It's my birthday tomorrow.
Fabulous. I think that was fabulous. And I think it's apt at this time. Thank you so much for that. Tomorrow is your birthday, and I know there's a lot of emotions. We're really anticipating fun, happy, joy. Wanted to take you out to dinner, party stuff.
That's life.
Life has happened. But, you know, really, it has really leveled a lot of things. Coronavirus has leveled the entire world.
Very true.
And obviously it's more obvious. How are you doing, Tokwe? You've been away for a whole week.
Yeah.
We're seeing you for the first time.
Don't mind
this
that.
week.
You're looking for money.
So I wanted to just give shout out to the, of course, we can't overemphasize the importance of our doctors and our nurses. But then yesterday I went to Ogbomoso. And on my way back from Ogbomoso, I branched the market, OJ market in Ibadan, and I saw people sweating, wearing awareness materials and trying to explain and break down how market women can protect themselves, how they should wash their hands. And what we might not notice is most of these market women actually have like 1 or 2 children in the universities and are back home. So I saw some CCs and boys that are using masks and helping their mom to sell too, and also spreading their awareness. So I'm like, it's at the end of the day, yes, this would pass, but it's also bringing us together. Social media has celebrities donating relief materials to people that can't afford it. We're gathering together, and I need to see more of that because we keep spreading. We need to protect ourselves, and we need to raise awareness so that we're more careful. But we also need to show the good sides that this has brought to fall, which is that we're helping each other out, we're supporting one another. So it's good.
Thank God the case in Nigeria hasn't totally, I mean, right now we're still managing I think it's 51 cases as of today. But we must remember our Nigerian doctors abroad who are working right now. Many of them are needing our support and our prayers because they have no choice. They have to be at the front lines. So they are Nigerian doctors, and they are right now in hospitals in the UK, hospitals in Italy, hospitals in the US, and they are there helping to ensure they save as many lives as possible. So we need to keep them in our prayers because I heard a few stories of some of them are breaking down, some of them are having some issues, and we need to continually remember them in prayers. And let's pray for the world. Italy is under unprecedented pressure right now, and our prayer. So when you see our governor and our government working round the clock, they don't want us to get to that point.
Yes, they don't.
So we can all say, oh, all this is for nothing. They're overreacting. It's not. They're not overreacting. The truth is, we cannot. And I think
we should even overreact because we don't want that problem.
And I also like the fact that Governor of Kaduna State, El Rufai, admitted from day one that, listen, we don't have the capacity. Let's not even front it. The only strategy we have is prevention. We cannot take it if it happens. So I think once we have that reality, we don't have enough hospitals, we don't have enough equipment to do this. Please, if you're feeling some kind of symptoms, stay home. We're going to continue our conversation on coronavirus, obviously. We're going to be discussing a different part of it. This is where your spouse, if your spouse is infected, how do you manage it? Do you, out of love, stick by him or her? You know, like Idris Elba and then his wife. Or do you say, uncle, auntie, isolate yourself? We'll talk about that after the newspaper review. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Right. Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with The Nation. Governors in self-isolation as ministers undergo test. CBN unveils 50 billion naira COVID-19 stimulus. Aso Rock in partial lockdown. Virus spreads to rivers as Wike shuts borders. Anthony Joshua in isolation after meeting Prince Charles. Right. And here it says that Buhari is negative and our vice president too is negative. All right, so...
CBN?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so the Central Bank of Nigeria, through the federal government, has unveiled a special package to cushion the effects of COVID-19. They're giving 1 billion bailout to pharmaceutical companies, 10 billion to Lagos State government, $18.2 million to the NCDC in this fight of the coronavirus. So this cash is also from a grant from the Japanese government. Yes, so, and the federal minister of... Finance. The finance minister is asking the support of the lawmakers to ensure that they cut down the 2020 budget as we speak. Now, households and small businesses, large businesses can access this loan. I think for households, you can get as much as 3 million to 25 million for businesses maximum. But then you have to prove that you have a verifiable business. You have to prove that you have certain amount of money coming, your cash flow. You have to show evidence, yes, that you are actually losing money at this time for you to get that.
Okay, our vice president, I'm not even sure why they even tested the vice president. Why would you test the vice president?
Because Abakari has it.
Okay.
Please, so it's like saying you want to test Daddy Gio. Why would you want to test the vice
president? But he traveled now. Is he a prophet?
Okay. I just wanted
but we're
to say
happy.
That. I just wanted to say that.
We know.
But we're happy that he's negative.
Yeah,
we're happy he's negative. Okay, moving on to the point. Let's stay serious. London party attendees go into isolation as 2 guests die. Okoya Oshoba Abiodun Shagaya at Justice Oguntade's party. Lagos to discontinue 566 cases being prosecuted by police in Punch. Military airlifts medical supplies detection kits from China. Kwara bans commercial vehicle operation, shuts churches and mosques. National Assembly meets Ahmed Emefiele, others over failing economy. Police arrest hackers of bank accounts in Anambra. And disquiet in FIRS as board sacks directors. In this COVID-19, they are sacking people. Okay, let's talk about the police who arrest hackers.
Yes, so this happened in Anambra State. The Anambra State Police Command arrested 6 gang members it's more like a syndicate. So what they do is they steal mobile phones, which they use to hack into the people's accounts. So, and they withdraw all of their money. The last one, the transaction they did, they withdrew about 851,000 naira from one person's account. So they got, the police got an intelligence that this was happening. And so they rounded them up, about 6 of them. They are going to be prosecuted, hopefully. And
yes,
so Femi had in a statement on Tuesday said that they are restricting, in trying to protect the villa from coronavirus, they are restricting media presence at the Aso Rock. And those that were restricted from coming includes AIT, Arise TV, STV, Ben TV, and others. Newspapers restricted includes The Punch, This Day, Tribune, The Guardian, Vanguard, Daily Trust. All of these media houses are not allowed in Aso Rock. Now, according to Femi Adesina, it is in protecting and restricting access to the villa because of coronavirus.
So how do we get information?
People are coming to the human rights people are speaking up. The CSO of the National Coordinator for Human Rights Writers Association has spoken up concerning this, saying that not at the time like this when Nigeria needs hope. Should some houses, some media houses be separated from those that have access to the presidency? Also, the PDP, a representative of the PDP said that this is not the time to be petty. It is not the time to use power to shelve parochial interest and pointless, unreasonable ego as we collectively seek solution to the problem plaguing us right now. So, we're waiting to see what else the Femi Adesina will speak.
I would really like that.
But major media you're saying Punch is not allowed to cover the stories.
All right. So how do we get stories?
Okay, well, so there are a few papers they are lying, but I don't think that is even legal. We have to. We'll go back to that story and see. I didn't even read
They
that.
say they allow channels, NTA,
Okay,
TVC, News Agency of Nigeria allowed. So.
Okay, let us
story
picture story. Go
yes,
ahead.
that's the so the China's Jack Ma Foundation
Has
donated relief materials for us, which
yesterday,
included the masks, the detection kits, which weighed about 3,000 pounds. So they brought it into Lagos through their Ethiopian airline, but then it was lifted and taken to Abuja.
It's a federal
Now,
country.
so people are complaining that Lagos has the largest
It's not Lagos
cases.
The bus is Nigeria, not Lagos. So take it first to
They'll bring it
NCDC.
back.
When are
and
they
then
bringing it
will-
back?
Yeah, so of course, because
we are
NCDC
waiting.
has been very responsive concerning this issue. So my expectation is that there will be equity in terms of sharing
Definitely.
two places
Hope
that
so.
need it.
Absolutely.
Hold them accountable.
Moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. Who are you again, Lagos State? No, let them go to federal
Let them,
government
yes, first.
COVID-19 FG to release 10 billion naira to Lagos. Lagos needs it, obviously. And
Yes.
1 billion naira to pharmaceutical firms. Governors in race for test going to self-isolation. Bauchi governor's brother kidnapped. FIRS retires directors who have served for 8 years. Excuse me. Okay, Bauchi governors, who has that story?
Yes, I do. So it was the Bauchi State governor, just 24 hours after he tested for COVID-19, his elder brother was kidnapped. So they said the gunmen came in about 7:39 p.m. that day and took him. Investigations are ongoing, trying to trace where they are as we speak. So far, we've not heard anything from them, whether they are asking for ransom. So hopefully we'll be able to get more information on how he can be rescued. And I
Okay.
pray he's safe.
Really sad.
Another story, moving on to Vanguard very quickly. Coronavirus, 4 governors in isolation as Kogi Rivers shut borders. Prince Charles test positive. We talked about that. I'm not in isolation, says Akeredolu. Arik Dana Air suspend flight operations. World Bank IMF grants IDA countries debt relief. Labour demands nationwide lockdown. Emefiele rallies banks to preserve Nigeria's trade relationships. And Dangote rallies the organized private sector after a 200 million naira donation. So I read that story.
But that fund was for the
200 million.
Yes, the explosion that happened now. This one for the coronavirus. Because the one I read online was that the donation was going to the explosion that took place in Abuliado.
Okay.
He has donated 200 million. The Zenith Bank donated 100 million. So a lot of private individuals are already donating towards the fund that was being created.
And then he also, so he's practically putting together all the organized private sector to then see what they can do to support Lagos State government in getting more isolation centers properly equipped for possibly more
We need
cases.
it here in Lagos.
Let's talk about these governors that have been contacted that are in isolation.
No, they didn't say they have not tested positive yet.
Isolation.
And there was also a report that the governor of Kogi State was positive, and he did a video showing that he's not sick, was on a treadmill. But I think it's responsible to have these 4 governors isolate themselves, especially everyone that has had any contact with anybody that is positive right now. So isolate yourself, keep yourself safe, and don't spread it further.
This is serious.
Okay.
Labour?
Yeah, go ahead, Labour.
Yeah, so Labour is demanding for a shutdown of a lockdown, except for everyone except those people who provide essential services such as food and Medicare. So they are saying that they are not going to sit back and allow their workers to be used as scapegoats, and they are going to ensure that everyone stays at home. And they are asking that there should be, some sort of palliatives that can help cushion effects. Their jobs should be protected salaries can be paid, so that at the end of the day when you resume, it's not like you're losing your job or you're losing money or all of that. So they are just asking all of us to work together to ensure that people sit at home.
Okay, World Bank is granting World Bank and IMF are granting countries debt relief. So they are projecting that countries will not be able to service their debts. So they are going to be giving some palliatives and also give them some debt relief for those that are owing.
So local airlines are suspending flights.
Yeah.
Arik has suspended, Asma suspended, Dana suspended. I hope that the palliative being put together by CBN is going to cover them too, because this is really affecting them. They've had to fly with with less passengers for a few weeks. Right. So now they've shut down because the country essentially has shut down. We're not doing anything. We're supposed to protect ourselves in this period.
Former Vice President.
Yeah, so Daily Times, Nigeria receives $18.2 million aid from Japan. COVID-19 article demands palliative measures for Nigerians.
1,000 naira.
Wow. He is saying, the former vice president of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, is saying that we should have palliative measures, that the federal government, as it stands right now, should be able to send at least 5,000 or 10,000 naira to about 38 million Nigerians that have their proper BVN as a way of cushioning the effect. And because a lot of people cannot even sustain staying at home, those people who get their money based on daily needs. And he was also advising telecoms that they should give free airtime, at least 1.5 each, to all of their subscribers, so that if you have this case and you need to call the emergency number,
we don't run a socialist
system. You should be able to.
Okay, well,
and he mentioned that, okay, we have their bacha loot, you know, that they have recovered.
We're not going to politicize this.
They recovered the bacha loot.
Let's move on.
Suggestions.
The point is that when you sit down and watch CNN so much, just assume that whatever they copy and paste and just do it. Yes, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But let us be rational.
But the loot is somewhere.
Let us domesticate this information. Just go and watch CNN and say, oh, they're giving them stimulus package. Oh yeah, Nigeria to give them. It doesn't work like that.
If
so
we have the money,
it's nice these things are nice to hear, but you know what? Let's move on. Up next, COVID-19. Your spouse, your lovey-dovey husband or wife, catch out.
What will you do?
How would you manage the situation, especially when there are children in the house? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
So before we go into our daily Thursday conversation, we're going to get some updates from a few states. So we have with us on the phone the Commissioner for Health and Human Services, Ekiti State, Dr. Mojisola Yaya-Kolade. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
I'm here. Good morning.
Good to have
How
you.
Are you.
Good to have you on show. Yes. So, what's going on in Ekiti State? Any updates on how we heard about the case you have in Oyo State right now? What has been done? How many centers do you have? And what are you doing to track others that could have been infected by this one case?
Okay. Thank you very much. Presently, in Ekiti case, we have only one case that has been confirmed positive, and the young man is stable. Is in what we call Ekiti State Infectious Disease Center, and we're taking care of him. No, he's asymptomatic at this time, but we are given he's been given investigational drugs that we learned that is effective. So we have taken other tests, other samples have been taken. We are waiting results. I just spoke to Abuja to see if we can get the result before this broadcast, but no, we're still pending. But he's very stable and no problems with him at all. And concerning all our contacts, we have been able to identify everybody. So our 41 contacts is 100%. We're in contact with them. We're monitoring their temperature and checking on them daily if there are symptoms. DSNOs and everything has been pretty stable.
Fantastic. All right.
So I hear that you've given an order in Ekiti State to shut down all the markets, except from people who are handling essential services, goods and services. How do you intend to carry that out, and how compliable do you think the citizens of Ekiti will be?
We know there will be challenges, but one thing is that we went out teaching people, sensitizing people, educating people about the importance of social distancing. Okay. And we came up with this because we saw some nocturnals that people don't think. They were calling it the disease of the rich, the people that go in the plane and things like that. So it's our job to educate them. We've done that. And the enforcement agency is going on. I spoke to the commissioner in charge already. Okay. They are presently in some places in Ekiti, making sure that displacing people and telling them to go. And we are trying to disintegrate this congregation because we don't want an outbreak that will come on Ekiti that will overwhelm the healthcare. Right. So the security people are involved, DSS is involved, police is involved, environmentalists is involved.
Right.
Every stakeholder that should know what is going on.
Fantastic.
Our local government chairman, everyone is involved.
All right.
And we are all up to the task.
All right. Great.
So I wanted to ask you this particular question because I realized that the statement would come from the head that sensitization is going on and that you're explaining why social distance is important. But I was in a market yesterday in Oyo State, which is not your state, but it's the same thing. There were awareness going on, but the market structure is clustered. People are putting their wares on the road, side by side, 5, 6 people selling the same wares and they are marketing, coming into your face. I could easily have sneezed into them right there and spread whatever I want to spread. Even though the sensitization was ongoing within that same location, it is not, the social distancing is not enforced. You're not saying separate your market or move apart. What are you doing to enforce a bit of distancing in how these essential people, because these food sellers are essential, you can't shut them down. People need to buy food. How are you ensuring that those food sellers understand how to stay away from each other, and how can you work with the market women to enforce it?
Is this question itself for me? Basically, what we have done, we said the food sellers should space themselves minimum 6 feet apart. And the demonstration I gave, because I was on the road too, is showing people that your arm's length, when you separate your, when you put your arm's length on both sides, then the second person can be there. And because other people are not going to be in the market, there will be space for them to spread around. And we have even encouraged some of them to stay in their house and put their wares on a table in front of their house. And their neighbors that want to buy can go there. So they don't really need to come to the market to have a sale. And there's only 2 people that Ekiti State said they can be in the market. If you are selling medication, a patent medicine store, or a pharmacy, or you're a food seller, and they've been informed they should be 6 feet arm's length apart. So we expect that to be enforced today. And environmentalists are going out. They are going out as I speak. We spoke very early this morning, and they are going out to enforce it.
Right. Okay.
And there's a particular area that I will not say the name in Ekiti State, and there's the enforcement.
All right. Let me get one more question in for you.
Okay, so we're not praying that you have more cases in Ekiti State, but as it is right now, we can't predict anything. So how prepared is Ekiti State? For instance, you have more cases than you have at the moment. What measures have you put in place? What capacity?
Okay, thank you very much. We have been training our healthcare workers on the human capacity side, on infrastructure side, a newly created what people normally call isolation center.
Okay.
But because of stigmatization, we are trying to be a little bit more refined. We are saying Ekiti State Health Infectious Disease Center.
Okay.
It's a 10-bedded center that we have the capability of keeping, probable case in one side of the building is separated. Okay. And we can put a positive confirmed cases on the other side. Okay. So we have five on both sides. So it's a total 10-bedded institution for now.
Okay.
And in case it gets more, we have the biggest space that we have been thinking, we've been dialoguing. Right. If need be, we will get into that.
All right. Let me get to one question.
One last question, please. I wanted to ask you concerning old people, because we know that mortality rate is highest amongst older people. And I know that Ekiti tends to have more, my mom is from Ekiti. There are more retirees and older people, a large population of old people. What is the awareness for old people to stay at home? Do you have a policy that even if you're an old person and you're selling food stuff, you will be isolated, you should stay at home? Is that sort of awareness going on so that old people will be kept away from interaction with general population?
Basically, what we have been doing, number one, we've instructed everybody to stay away from churches, from markets, from everywhere, especially the old people. I have been encouraging people to practice what I'm practicing. I have not visited my mother since this thing has happened. Wow. So if you have an aged mother and you don't want to kill them, you must stay away
from them.
And we'll continue to emphasize that. So everybody that has an aged mother, they should stay away from them for now. Even on Mother's Day, which was celebrated in England, and we celebrate here too, we did not go to see, some of us, we didn't go to see our mothers, and that's what we are encouraging.
All right.
Because they are more vulnerable.
Yes, they are.
And they are likely to die if we expose them to COVID-19.
Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate this call. We've been talking to Dr. Mojisola Yaya-Kolade. She is the Honorary Commissioner of Health and Human Services, Ekiti State. So we're going to quick break. When we come back, we'll be speaking to more doctors to have an idea what's going on, and then later we'll have a conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So, the issue of self-isolation and quarantine. As we all know, it's a highly demanding and strenuous routine psychologically, despite being most potent and widely acceptable approach in other countries. Now, on our show, we'll be discussing with a psychologist on how we can manage the effects of this self-isolation. Joining us is the head of psychology department of the University of Lagos, Professor Bankole. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good to have you on the show.
I'm happy to be part of it.
Yes. So many families are having to stay home, obviously, because we're trying to reduce the spread of the virus. Now, it's obviously having quite a bit of psychological effect on the relationships among spouses, families, loved ones, the fact that they can't go out, they don't have that freedom to do what they want to do. Now, today, in Lagos State, for example, all major stores are closed, except for those with the grocery stores or those having essential items. Could you give us some kind of help or insights on how we can manage this entire self-isolation at this period?
Yes. Thank you very much. Isolation itself is a very potent weapon to depersonalize the people. Therefore, it has a lot of psychological effects. The first one is the breaking down of the personality, what we call depersonalization. The second one is the perception of people with the others, because the perception itself is receiving stimulus, transmitting it to the brain, and then interpreting it. Then another serious effect of it is that the person or whoever is isolated tries, to live a real life. And how do they do it? Since they don't receive stimulations from the environment, what they do is to manufacture their own environment. And this is very serious. So what can be done is to stimulate reality. For example, if it is a solitary confinement, especially those who are forced into quarantine, what the government should do is to go into serious special counseling activities, like using electronics to stimulate the environment so that they are not forced to conjure what we call cognitive, mentality, to conjure the environment.
Right.
And usually, perception is very serious, very serious. Perception makes people, to formulate their own environment.
Right.
And this perception influences our mentality.
Right.
This is why it is said that the way you perceive a thing determines your reaction to it.
Right. Okay. So I know, Brad, you don't want to ask a question.
I know that people are really afraid. Nobody wants to catch this. And then when they have somebody in their environment who is, self-isolating, social distancing, probably trying to find out after a few days if they have the coronavirus or not, there's this tendency to, be emotionally withdrawn from them. You just want to stay away. What can be done to ensure that the people in that kind of environment lends emotional and psychological support to the people that are isolating?
Yes, that is why I mentioned that serious, counseling, not face-to-face this time around because you are not allowed to talk. But you can use machines. You can record the speeches. You can record the, approaches that we constantly impede on their emotions.
Okay.
So that they don't start manufacturing their own environment, so that they don't start, thinking, distorting their own perception to suit the situation. Socrates long ago said that when people define a situation as real, it becomes real in its consequence. That is where perception becomes in.
Right.
So we should assist them to maintain their perception.
Okay.
Cancel it, play, record their speeches and play it to them.
Videos.
Cancel them and tell them, things that will counter that situation.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Professor. We'll definitely be calling on to you quite a few times again because people are very confused at this time, and especially for institutions and organizations that people are asking them to volunteer the spaces for this isolation centers. There's that psychological effect of that. So we'll be coming to you later on, Professor. Thank you so much. We'll be speaking to Professor Bankole. He's the head psychology department in UNILAG. Okay, so coming back home now, let's bring this conversation home because you raised an important issue, which is our conversation today about the fact that in the home, we have an aged person. So, for example, your brother is self-isolating because he just got back from the UK.
Yeah.
And then you're the wife. You have to hang out with your husband and then the children, and you have an aged person in the house. Your entire house is already full of their issues. You can't go to see husband. Grandma cannot see husband. Children cannot see daddy. There's just so much going on within that space. How do you think, and I'll come to you, and I'd also like to get our viewers to call us, let us know how you manage in your space. How do you think we can manage it best if you are having a spouse who just got back from the UK and needs to be isolated?
Hey, now this kind of time you won't go UK. What's your problem? The thing is, these are actually trying times. And you can't really say how you would react till you face that situation. I don't have anybody who is self-isolating around me, but I got into depression the day before yesterday. It was very, very intense. I haven't felt that way in a long time. And I was constantly asking myself, why am I feeling this way? Why am I this down? It was as if somebody put my spirit somewhere and covered it, like go down till I came out of it. That is me, that I just hear the news and talk about it. I have nobody around me who has COVID-19. Now, when you're faced with somebody who has COVID-19, well, it takes the grace.
So my question is,
God,
would you, if you're, God forbid, our spouses, would you leave the room for him, or would you say, just like Idris Alba's wife, did out of love, she stayed with her husband? In your situation, would you, out of love, say, you know what, we're in this, we die here?
See,
or we say,
when I heard that Idris Alba's wife went to meet him, I said, that's my babe, because that's exactly, I will go with my husband. Then somebody reminded me, but you have kids. Who is going to look after the kids? I said, for now, grandma and grandpa are there. They will handle the kids. But my husband needs that support. My husband needs me there. When I'm there, we will heal together. I know the kind of buttons to push and something will happen. Me, I'll follow him.
Love, one, two, Topsy. Actually, I would like to get callers to call in because you see, we can actually be laughing about it, but lots of people are going through it right now, and they're not sure how to handle the situation. Yes, Tokwe.
So the ideal thing would be, right now, I'll stay with my husband because obviously, love is shocking me. But the reality is that I've seen videos of those who've done it, but they had to take the highest level of precaution. So it's, at the end of the day, when we paint a picture of, leave the person alone, be passing food under, just open the door, pass the food, that in itself can kill the patient. So you can't make the person feel like a prisoner. You would maintain distance, but they must feel the warmth because they say what kills you more is the fear. And that isolation would weaken your immune system, being alone. So for me, if somebody is in that situation or you're suspecting that your spouse or somebody around you might have it, I will be with you, but I would have to take care of myself to the highest level. It is stupidity for me to say because I love my husband and he has coronavirus, I'll now go and be hugging him and kissing him. That's stupid. That's not love. it is love for me to take care of him. I would cook you the soup. I would do all the things. I would get you all the herbs that would boost your immune system. But I would wash my hands. I would wear gloves. I would cover my nose. I would wear overall. I would wear nylon all over my body and remove it and do jig whatever to
You will not kiss at that time. You were thinking of kissing at that time.
I would definitely want to be around, but I would take every precaution necessary because I would understand that what would I want to happen if I'm the one in that case?
Exactly.
I wouldn't want someone to lock me in the room and cut out a hole and be throwing food to me like I'm a prisoner. I won't want that. So
the issues of children, because I mean, because I know that somebody was saying that it's great to say you want to stick with your spouse, but when the kids also, they need a parent. I mean, especially when your spouse has an underlying issue and there's a possibility that the eventuality might happen.
Yeah.
So it's time for us to look at, you have to set these things on the table. Let us know what we're dealing with. Because that's what I see is different between us and those living abroad. Yeah. They lay the cards on the table. Yeah. Here, this is what we're facing. We totally don't, we just say, no. And with the blood of Jesus, we're okay, nothing's going to happen to us. We'll be okay, we're going to ride this storm together. Nothing's wrong in riding the storm together. But you must know what's at stake. Let me come to you.
So this is the point where you take cognizance of your peculiar family,
right,
and the kind of support system that you have.
Right.
I have a support system that if I have to stay with my husband, I will. My kids are in good hands. I have that support system. Somebody else may not have that. I may need to think of, okay, if I stay with you, nobody will be there to look after the kids. So I took my decision based on the fact that I know I have a support that will handle the kids, and I know the way my husband is wired. Me being there with him will heal him faster than me passing food under the table. Yes, that's the truth. And because there's something I do which is mind over matter. I believe that my mind controls my body. I have used my mind to heal my physical ailments without taking medication. I've done that even this year on the show. So I believe that I can walk by faith. I can walk him to a point where we will heal. Yeah. We will come up together. But he needs to have me in close proximity so that he can understand what I'm doing, that we will come out of this. So I need to be in that space with him.
Interestingly, I mean, I came down with a cough a couple of days ago, and I was just monitoring myself. It was just regular. The air conditioner is constantly on in my room, and my room is always cold.
Too much, yeah.
And the weather, the whole fact. But my husband didn't even act as if something is outside in COVID-19. He's just,
he will come to you.
He was there, he stayed with you on the bed, got you vitamins, take this, you're okay, drink your tea, you'll be all right, And I'm thinking, okay, wouldn't you excuse me? The guy, brother, like, I'm here, we're here, we're not going anywhere.
That kind.
So that's not the kind of person he is. So, but at the same time, there are families going through that right now.
So there are peculiarities, and BC highlighted, that you need to understand the kind of family that you have.
Yeah.
The Commissioner for Health in Ekiti State said she didn't visit her mother. There are some times that you have to take tough decisions.
Yes.
I know that I am strong, I'm young. My health, even if it comes up, I might be able to overcome it. Yeah. But my parents might not be in that same zone. So there's sometimes that you carry out. Imagine if the spouse has underlying issue and your partner has COVID-19. Is it not common sense for you not to come in contact with that spouse because you know that you have underlying issues? So sometimes each situation will determine how you play it out. Yes. If a woman, if two aged people, 60-something, 80-something, are married and the 80-something does not have, but the 50-something woman has, we don't say, oh, because of love, take care of your spouse. No, let's be emotional, but let's also deal with the facts on ground.
Douglas is calling from Germany. Douglas, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Good morning.
Thanks for calling, Douglas. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I was lucky to come through 3 days ago, but I forgot out of anxiety to say that I'm the first time caller. So now,
welcome to the show.
You want to get the clap today?
Welcome to the show.
Well, this topic today. Well, first and foremost, I will like to solicit to the federal government to consider making you, Moriah, and your girls the Minister of Orientation for the country. You get, you ladies are doing wonderful.
Thank you.
Oversight function more than any other person could.
You're
doing very great.
Thank you.
But for this topic today, if I am in that situation, like Topper said, I won't be kind of selfish to demand that my wife goes with me. But the thing is, if I am tested positive, I think it is obvious that my wife would have been tested positive. So I think we go together. But in case I am not positive, like Tope said, I will take extra precaution to take care of myself, to protect myself, not to fall victim also.
Right.
Because,
Douglas.
I mean, if I make...
Sorry, I do apologize. I think I got to your point, but while you're here, I don't want the line to cut off. I want you to also give us an update. So while you're telling us your view, I'd like you to give us an update in Germany. What's going on in Germany right now?
Well, now in Germany, like I said 3 days ago, the people in Nigeria seems not to understand what the sickness is all about. I mean, here in Germany, it's a kind of, okay, not that total lockdown, but I mean, we cannot move more than 2 persons at a time. Not possible. If you're moving more than 2 persons at a time, the police will stop you and you pay fine amounting like up to 80,000 naira.
What?
So, I mean, and you must move when you're working with people, you go like you must keep 2 meter gap between you and the next person.
Wow.
So, I mean, and except you're going with your family members, then you can go like more than 2 or 3 persons. But if you're like workmates or friends or anything, no gathering at all. All restaurants closed, all bars closed, only pharmaceuticals and shopping, places where you can buy food that are open. Okay. Restaurants closed, everything.
Thank you very much.
Trying to stem this disease.
Thank you very much, Douglas, for that update. So,
see, I like what Douglas said, and it reiterates what we're talking about. But, you know, like BC mentioned, when you're not wearing the shoe, you don't know how you're going to react to it. So what we're just doing is hypothetically just saying everything that is possible. But I think that there are people whose spouse and relatives are isolated right now. And they are happy that the person is isolated because they feel like I'm safe. But since we have this platform, some of them are watching, the 51 people that have been confirmed, 2 have been released. So we have 49 confirmed cases of coronavirus in Nigeria. That they have family members. Don't abandon them. You know, don't say, I want to take care of my family, I won't check on them, because we understand that the emotional state they are in will determine how well they will respond to whatever treatment they are getting. So if you have a relative that has tested positive, please check on them. If your relative just came back from the UK or the red zones, please don't just isolate and abandon them in the room and say, I'm just checking on you from the door because I don't want coronavirus. You know, let there be a bit of warmth, but in every level, observe precaution for yourself.
You know, one part of this thing we've not talked about is the children. I mean, I've not heard any reports on kids on this virus. And hopefully when we have Dr. Olubogi.
We've had a death in Atlanta.
A child?
Yes, a child. The
So
child died.
I've not gotten much reports about this. I'd like to even know how kids' immune system react to this. So maybe when Dr. Olubogi comes back, we'll ask him about it, because it's important that we monitor, because we have a younger population. Yes. A large chunk of our population is young people. Yes. So we need to know how far of this, of the research is done to see if indeed kids can actually fight this themselves, because kids, those who are in isolation, some of them cannot but play with their children.
What my children are saying concerning coronavirus.
Are you telling me?
My children are unhappy. So, because of coronavirus, we can't go to school again. So their friend did his birthday yesterday. We didn't go to Jedediah's birthday party because of coronavirus. Right. So right now, coronavirus is
like the enemy.
It's the enemy right now.
We can't even go to a party. Right. We can't even do anything because we are inside the house. So for them, it is more about the isolation and and the only thing we're watching is coronavirus on the news. It's only coronavirus.
So I would like to open up. I have to go on a quick break. When I come back, we'd like to open up the phone lines. We'd like to hear people. Those of you actually that are going through, that are in self-isolation, we'd like to hear from you. Or if you have a relative that's contacted the virus, call us and let us know how you're dealing with it. That's really important for us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Okay, thanks for staying with us. So before we continue our conversation, we have with us the Chief Press Secretary, Oyo State Government, Mr. Taiwo Adisa. Good morning, Mr. Taiwo. Are you there?
Yeah, good morning. I'm there.
Good to have you on the show. So, Oyo State has recorded the first case. How are you managing that case and tracing others who may have contacted this person?
Yeah, you know, it's a bit of a delicate environment when you have to communicate, when you have to do risk communication. So we have to make sure that that's number one. Number two, we have to also quietly deal with all related matters. And that is what we His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde is doing. Because of the nature of our people here, if you just clink the glass just a bit, you could just have a serious crisis of alarm, people raising on alarm and all that. So he's at night. He set up. First of all, he set up the task force. Then he set up subcommittees under the task force. The task force and some committees have been going around combing all the areas that the index case stayed. Luckily, he did not stay in a hotel. The trio that came to Oyo State, and one of them was a coronavirus carrier. Luckily, stayed in a house. So it was easy to map out that place and then check all the family members and check the people that visited the house around that area. Right. And the people have been cooperating. So a number of them are being monitored. Definitely,
fantastic. That's great.
In fact, we have a good number of, apart from that in this case, there are some other people that entered Oyo State around the same time, coming from Italy, Egypt, and I think India also. So those people were quickly quarantined. We got information, luckily, that they were coming to town, and they were just going to resume in some companies that they work with here. Okay. So the information came to the state. So before they arrived, we have sent messages to that company. As soon as they were arriving, they just went straight into isolation.
All right.
So we're dealing with that. And some other people that traveled back to the States, a good number of them also, that traveled outside the country and came to the States recently.
All right, let me get into a few other questions.
They're also being tracked.
All right, let me get a few questions.
Thank you, Mr. Taiwo. I asked this question to our last, somebody we spoke with earlier on the show, but I think it's more relevant for you because I just left your state. And while I went to J Market, I noticed that there was awareness going on, which I reported on the show. However, there wasn't social distancing in the marketplace. Anybody could easily have sneezed buying mango or whatever it is and cause a spread. So I'm doing this as an information, not really a question, so that you're aware that, this is still ongoing. The information is there, but they are not practicing. Social distancing in the markets.
Yes.
They are still clustered. The shops are still together.
They appreciate that. Is a lot of when they say change is difficult. A lot of people, as we speak, still believe, not just in Oyo State, all over the country. A number of our people don't still believe that this coronavirus is real. Many people, somebody called me this morning from one couple that was traveling and said that, look at what was happening, that one man came and said, no, this thing is just a boo-boo from Western countries. Ew. They just want to use it to sell their drugs, blah, blah, blah. I said, look, show the person your own sanitizer and tell the people that he's telling a lie. That if he wants to know that whether the thing is real or not, he should go and see some of the people who are positive. He should go and wear their clothes and stay for 14 days and let us see what will happen to him. That it is not, so we have to intensify our campaign. That is what it means.
All right.
Because it's
let me try to get you one more question.
Yeah. So is there any plan to bring this campaign in their local languages so that you can penetrate? Yes. What plans are?
I just reviewed the jingles in 5 languages.
Nice.
Now.
Okay.
And I just certified them that we should go ahead. With the Ministry of Health, they just sent me jingles in 5 languages, which is certified, and they are going through any moment from now. Okay. Then they go to yesterday we called some community leaders, a few of them, like 12, who are representative of so many organizations. Okay. So we call them to say, okay, communicate, these are the messages. Communicate these messages to your people through WhatsApp messages. Right. You don't need to call everybody together. Send through your WhatsApp messages. Ask them to listen to radio. Ask them to watch television. TV. And then there are some mobile advert people that are going around, motorized campaigns that are going around. Yesterday, the committee on the subcommittee on security and enforcement went around the town with megaphones and all that, telling people this is what you should do and this is what.
Okay, I have to let you go.
Police was involved. Yeah.
I have to let you go, but finally, you're close to Lagos State. I mean, you're next door. So anybody in Lagos State that's a potential carrier could come to your state easily. We've seen states like Rivers shut all their boards, you know, nobody in and out. So how does your government plan? Are you going to create a wall and say, don't come from Lagos? Or how do you plan to manage those of us coming in from Lagos State?
You know that's really difficult. It's one question that came up yesterday. I was saying, well, how do we barricade Ibadan from Lagos? There are so many entry points to Ibadan from Lagos, from Ogun side, from Ogun State side, from the expressway, and so many other routes. But then that means that our campaign has to be intensified heavily. We are making sure that anybody that comes around your environment who is moving in from Lagos, please call the numbers. We have almost 10 numbers now, emergency numbers, that we have brought out. Please call the numbers and make sure that the health experts are able to come around there and check this quietly, not necessarily making it, because some educated people, so particularly the case particularly that we're looking at, he said he doesn't want noise. He doesn't want us to bring ambulance to his house, but he's ready to cooperate with the government. So they quietly went in and evacuated an isolation center.
Fantastic.
So we are just encouraging people to be more vigilant that anybody that relocates from Lagos or any town, not just Lagos alone, any town or even abroad at this particular time, just quietly call the numbers, and then we will get the message to
Thank you very much for joining us. That was the Chief Press Secretary of Oyo State, Mr. Taiwo Adisa. It was a pleasure having you on the show. So going back to our conversation, I was actually going to move on to what's trending on social media, but before I go there, you wanted to say something about this issue?
So I think this is a time where we are all trying to put our hands together, put our house together, try to support one another in any capacity. And this is me calling out the life coaches, the therapists, the psychologists to, put up their services for free. Now, the thing is, we're advising family members to support those in isolation. There's some sort of support that they may not be, they are not equipped enough to give to them, especially somebody who's already spiraling into depression. And they may need an outsider who can, through online, we have online services who can reach out to. If you know any of these people, you can always, put it up. There are people who are ready and waiting to assist. Nobody's going to be charging you at this time.
That's a good
something
point.
We should talk to somebody.
That's a good point. Now, on social media, moving on now, social media, people are talking that maybe now our politicians or our leaders will stay back home because they can't go anywhere. I mean, in the front page today, for example, it was obvious, in Punch, said that they're collecting our COSs, that's the Chief of Staff of Nigeria. His medical records was being taken, it was being requested from the UK. He doesn't have records, obviously, in Nigeria. So, reality check. Whether they like it or not, everybody is home. We have to now go and use our facilities. Now, people have tried to make jokes of this and laugh at our leaders. Oh, now they have come, the chicken has come home to roost and all that.
So
listen, I don't know.
Don't catch them.
At the same time, I feel that we shouldn't trivialize the situation.
Yeah.
Yes, it's nice for you. It's interesting and nice to joke about these things. But the truth is, people can die. And we must begin to understand. I mean, that's my own personal view. As much as we understand that, yes, our leaders have neglected the health sector. And there are many of them are having to face that sector, which they have neglected. But the truth is, that is, for me, almost besides the point.
No, there's an adage in my place that says, amen. So when the prayer is very long, we'll stop talking. We'll just wait for you where you say amen. So all of us will say amen, so you can move on. Now, it's not that people are trying on Twitter or wherever they are trying to make jest of the situation, but this is a wake-up call to the leaders of Nigeria. Because if you do not prepare your home for eventualities like this, it will catch up with everybody. Right now, you can't travel for medications. You can't travel to have access to medical care. You have to fall back to the facilities that you have provided for your state or your constituencies or that you have not provided. So it's a reality check. It's a wake-up call. We need to sit up. What are we doing? And I expect that after all of these, our leaders will really tell themselves the truth. Are we really ready to serve our people? This has happened. Okay, for instance, now all those people that go to the abroad when they want to cough, to collect cough medicine, now cough, hold them. Can they go now? They are stuck with what they have provided for their So it's not about people making jest of it. You know, Nigerians always have a way of making light a matter that would have depressed them or that is heavy and just put it out there like that. But we should take the truth from what they're saying.
Let me take this call. Good morning, Davis. Are you there?
Good morning.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, this is the first time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
I've been trying to read this program for a long time.
Yes.
Good to have you.
Okay, I really want to say something. This coronavirus thing they're talking about, don't you think this government or these people are deceiving us, first of all? Because when they want to show Italy that has this coronavirus, they show that we see the video, we see the clips. But Nigeria, we don't say anything. They're just showing us, they'll show Italy pictures to us.
It's our society.
They should tell us, they should show us, let us see these things. We just been hearing coronavirus everywhere. We've not seen a patient.
Anybody.
This center, they are even isolating people. So they should try, and for the leaders too, this is a wake-up call for them too. All those times they've been running everywhere. Nigerian is like a person that builds a house that refuses to put roof. That is waiting for rain before he or she will put the roof. That's what is happening now.
Okay, let me try to respond to that a bit. I don't work for the government, but the truth is, we should be happy that we're not recording like Italy is.
Yes.
We should be happy that we don't have videos like that. You see, one of the fallbacks of this where we are is people thinking that all this is for nothing. We are just overreacting. Nothing is happening in Nigeria. Oh, this is for the rich. Or this is for the. It's good to say that now because the truth is that we don't have those cases. We don't have people dying left, right, and center in thousands like other countries. So we shouldn't say because we're not at that level, it's not real. Let's not have that narrative. The truth is the government is putting all measures in place so that it doesn't get to that level.
But Mariah, I don't think that's what he's saying. He's saying that we are not seeing people who have it.
We shouldn't.
No, we should. You know why? You know why? When we watch other videos, we see people who are trying to survive, and they are giving you tips on what they are doing. So it's real to the people that these people actually have it. But so far, you've not seen any face in Nigeria that has it. So a lot of people are, thinking that this is actually fake, it's not real, government is just trying to make money out of it because there's no evidence.
Dr. Luke Bogi has been telling us that a lot of those that we have in Lagos State have been asymptomatic. Many of them are not totally showing symptoms. So if you're expecting to be seeing sick people finding it difficult to breathe, that's not what you're going to see. There are people who are isolating. Now you've been tested. You're not showing symptoms. The idea is that we're taking you away from the public, isolating you so you don't infect others who might potentially die from it. So is that understanding we need Nigerians to see? So if people are not dying, we should be thanking God for that. That shouldn't make us think for a second that it's fake.
Another side of the story is mortality doesn't happen immediately. So people show symptoms, they get sick, and then later die. All the ones we've recorded, we just started recording. So it's like even in the US, New York has 25,000 cases, but the death rate is not high yet. They say it will because the maturity is in 14 days that you're not seeing people drop. But whichever way, the Twitter issue yesterday that I saw was a real major cause of concern. Because guess what? The last time our president's son had an accident, what happened? He was flown abroad. He was flown abroad for medical treatment. We know many of our politicians they don't get any treatment for any ailment in Nigeria because of the kind of hospitals that we have on ground can't take care of us. But now they are forced to receive treatment here. There is no better time. Fantastic. It is good that they are experiencing it because if it didn't affect them in any way, we will have no idea. If it didn't affect them anyway, they'll just be like, oh, the people should go to the hospitals. But now everybody is getting the same treatment like any other person in this country.
The poor and the rich are the same now.
And I read, I don't know how confirmed, if this is confirmed, that they are bringing Herbal Chiari to Lagos.
No, they're not.
They said they planned it, but they didn't do it. But and the question was that where is all the billions that was spent on Aso Villa Hospital? Because when people were screaming out, the first lady was screaming out concerning how ill-equipped the hospital was.
Let me take this call from Chief Williams on Oyo State. Chief Williams, are you there?
Hello, yes, I am.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I thank God that I am able to get through.
Yes.
Happy to have you.
Thank you so much. The Lord will bless you all.
Amen.
I want to call the awareness of all Nigerians to the lackadaisical attitude of the chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue towards his staff and the danger he's exposing his staff's family into. I believe that there was an instruction from the federal government that all staffs between level 1 and 12 and level 12 should abstain from coming to work.
Yes, we heard that.
But on the ground, I am challenging TVC News to please go to Lagos and verify this information. The chairman of, because I know this because my wife also works with Federal Inland Revenue. He has sent an underground memo that all the staff should come to work. How can a parastatal chairman...
All right, we'll try to confirm that, sir.
We'll investigate.
Thank you very much, Chief Williams, for that information. We will ask, we will go find out and confirm this story.
And they made no provisions at all.
Right. All right.
No sanitizers, nothing.
Thank you very much.
My wife, I have got two.
We'll definitely go check that out. We'll have a reporter going there.
But Nigerians are happy that this is affecting politicians, and they are happy that politicians don't have anywhere to go to but the hospitals that are ill-equipped here by the funds that should have been spent on them but are being spent buying cars. Some people are also on Twitter is wonderful now, right now. Twitter is wonderful. There were tweets saying that the money that was budgeted to fix the National Assembly should now be diverted into providing healthcare.
We're looking for $500 million for NTA, I think, recently.
Yes.
They were saying that maybe we don't have the money, but we're looking for that money. So maybe we should now divert that energy.
In order of priority, we've always said that the healthcare and education, these two key areas are essential. And we will see, I'm sure for a fact that we will see major improvements in healthcare now because they are using it. But wouldn't it have been better if the hospitals were good, if the staff were happy, if everybody could walk into any hospital in Nigeria and get good health care? Now they will. Also, Twitter also said, let me just report all these things completely, that every House of Assembly member, every representative, everybody should be treated in their constituency. Don't bring anybody to Lagos. If you have coronavirus and you are in Castina, please use the hospital in your constituency. Don't come to Lagos because you did not help your constituency to get better health care. Don't now come and benefit from constituents that have done a good job in their locality.
I hope
Should I bring more Twitter?
No, it's okay. Thank you. You are shaking all the tables. Right, I just hope that, you know, after all this, we'll not revert to same old. Because by then, probably it would have been lifted. People are not able to travel. They can now quickly go and start accessing medical facilities outside the country, and they forget the poor people
I think
again.
Let's try to take a few tips.
Kalai Ray says, coronavirus is so strong that it ignores borders and status. Nigerians should observe this costless social distancing. It serves as stoppage. We're doing the same in Germany.
Okay, before we go ahead, I think we should remind us again, because I'm a bit worried that some people think this is all fake, and maybe there are different reasons why maybe we don't see Nigerians coming up dying, or people don't have enough. We don't have enough people who have actually reported to have coronavirus, and that's one of the conversations I want to have with maybe a government official we can bring in soon, because we must decentralize where testing is being done. It can't be one place. I mean, if they can empower multiple hospitals to do the testing, many people will come forward, because the most important thing is that knowing who has it and being able to isolate them. But right now, we don't know, because they're all in their homes hiding. And they don't want to go to Yaba to test. I've been saying this from last week.
Yeah.
We need to decentralize where testing is being done.
So that they can access
Bring these kits, things that Jack Ma has given us. Bring these things, give it to multiple hospitals across the state.
The truth is that they're not going, all of us are not meant to go to Yaba. The instruction from NCDC is that if you feel you have any symptoms or you've come in contact with anybody, stay at home and call the numbers. When you call them, they come to your house.
But they don't. That's the issue. People have complained. I've made a few calls. They'll talk to you, definitely, but following up
they don't follow
issue.
through.
Nobody then shows up at your house. But the point is that once you start feeling that the difficulty in breathing, you should be able to walk to the nearby hospital.
What if you don't have symptoms? You are asymptomatic. That's another thing. So people I don't know.
So we need to find a way. Anyway, we'll talk to more government officials. We really need to keep talking, because people, I don't think we have the real numbers of who and who has it.
I don't think so.
I'm worried.
And it's worrisome. But you know what? I think Lagos State so far has given us some kind of reason
Thumbs
to
up.
be confident
Lagos is
that
trying.
Lagos on top of the game.
Thumbs up.
And other states too. Let's be frank. Other
Yes,
states are
Wike
working.
is doing a good job.
Governor
they're picking up.
Wike, Lagos, Oyo State. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody is doing something. So I don't think anybody is taking this line low. I think we're all actually on top of it.
Especially when it came to the top.
It's a good thing that Nigeria is standing together on this, and we will continue to support our government to ensure that Nigerians are sensitized and know what to do. I think we can wrap up on the show.
Yeah, people should stay at home, please.
Yeah.
Stay at home. And we should also emphasize on the foods that we can eat, the foods we can take that will help us boost our immune system.
Talk about that
Let's
tomorrow.
talk about it, yes. Tomorrow.
Talk about it tomorrow.
All right, then.
It needs a cough.
That's fine.
All right. So before we run off, I'm coughing like this.
We saw you.
That's how to cough.
Yes, that's how to cough. Now, one of our producers, our assistant producer, her father is 70 years today. So they were supposed to be the party.
Yes,
We actually all planned
we planned to attend that party.
to be at that party today. But unfortunately,
God did.
Corona just
Took the party
took
away.
the party away. However, we are still celebrating. Mr. Shenjobi
Okwe's dad.
Okwe's dad, he's
Yeah,
70
his
today.
dad.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, sir.
Many more years. God bless
His
you.
name is George Adebayo Shenjobi.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. George Adebayo Shenjobi.
Happy
birthday,
Happy
sir.
birthday to you, sir. Many, many more years. And
Fruitful
please,
years.
stay safe, oh. Don't receive visitor. Yes, the birthday did not come. No problem.
No problem.
Please, they should stay in their house. Your own house. Be thanking God and praising God. Please call daddy on the phone. Don't go and visit him in the house.
Don't visit daddy.
Small rice. They are saying, "Come
Don't
stay in
say
your
Koko.
house." They're not parrying anything. Please, just
We'll do many
pray.
more years than
Many more
70.
years. Yes.
Amen.
Okay, have a fabulous day. We'll
See you tomorrow.
Bye.